Okay, so good morning. And I'm gonna start seated. This is just a good deep stretch this morning, but we're gonna be working on the core. And this is one you could do every day. So I'm hoping to record this so it'll be available to you like on weekends or something like that. But we're gonna use a rolled up either yoga mat or a rolled up blanket for when we come down and do those deeper stretches in the hips. Right now you can take one and scooch it under your pelvis. And it'll lift your pelvis up nicely. It'll help you to open your hips. So you're gonna have those heels aligned with the pelvis, knees open, rolling through the shoulders, and just begin with some nice deep breaths, right? So we're gonna roll those shoulders back and lift through the crown of the head, inhale and exhale. We're opening up and elongating through the neck on all sides, front, side, and back. And continue to move the tops of the shoulders nice and wide and down the back as we inhale and exhale. So just take a few moments to really feel your breathing and settle your mind. And be in this wonderful present moment. And now as we breathe in, kind of fill up your back. Fill your back. And as we breathe out, we'll squeeze right in through here, that lower belly and the hips. Okay? So try that again. Breathe into your back. And exhale, squeeze. Okay, try that 3 more times. And one more. Great. So bring those knees in and the feet together and hug your shins as tight as you can. So you're pulling your shins together real tight. Walk your feet as close to your bottom as you can. Stretch your lower back. So you're gonna just sink back into your lower back. You're still on the cushion, that's fine. Squeeze into the lower belly. And stretch the back of your neck now, okay? So your forehead's gonna come into the stretch toward the knees, but you're stretching the back. And as we inhale, we lift and lengthen through the crown of the head. So stretch up. And we'll try that again. Just a deep, deep stretch here. Just squeeze through the back and hug in through the belly. Back of the neck stretches. And we inhale and lift. Awesome. Let's do that one more time. So squeeze, 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 squeeze. And inhale and lift. So we're going to shift our weight over our feet. We're going to come up into standing. So I'm going to scooch that out of the way. And just come right up into your standing posture. And our feet are going to be parallel. So they don't have to, heels, toes don't have to touch. They can touch. And you can go wider if you feel like that's better for you. Or you can go closer. Find your distance that feels good. But look down at your feet, make sure they're even and they're parallel. And make nice, strong legs and feet. So we're gonna really feel the legs strong and into the ground. Activate into the lower belly. So drawing that in. Reach open through the shoulders, lift, and intertwine your wrists. So your wrists are gonna kind of lock in like that. I'm gonna reach back with the elbows, keeping those legs strong. And breathing in and breathing out. So we're gonna reach back as much as you can with your arms and your elbows. Get them straighter and further back. And we'll bend the knees and come down. So bend the knees and come down. So working into deep, deep opening here. Feet still parallel, legs still strong. Shake out your head, just shake it up. Bob your head up and down a few times. Roll your spine back up. We're going to reach open again and interlace the wrists again. Just maybe this time have the other one if you can do that. Just kind of the one you were about to do, just switch and have the other one in front. And reach straighter and further back. Keep those legs strong, feet strong. And maybe pumping the arms back for 8, 7. Keep pumping the arms back. 6, 5, go for it. Straighter and stronger. 4, 3, 2, and then you'll bend the knees again and come down through this stretch. Bring the arms back behind the legs. Shake out the head and the neck. Start to extend your hips up to the sky. And keeping the head drop down, the feet and the legs are strong. Roll the shoulders into your back as you breathe and breathe out, and hug into your lower belly. And we'll roll up again. So this time when you come up, you're going to interlace your fingers just like this. Turn your palms to the sky and press up as much as you can. So again, fingers interlaced, palms skyward, and lift. And keep your feet and your legs parallel and strong. And this time, maybe looking up and letting the neck extend as you breathe in and breathe out. So getting a good length to the body. And we'll open up again, and this time come down with maybe a little bit less bend in the knees, squeeze into the hips and the belly. And again, shake out. So you can put your hands on the yoga block, to the floor, or behind your legs. Shoulders to the ground. Inhale and exhale. Now you're gonna bring your hands to the ground, walk your feet out, turn your toes out, and come down into a squat. And as you squat back with your hips, stretch your arms forward. And press into your feet. Press into your toes and your heels. Open up the neck and shoulders and keep sending your hips back and drawing the spine longer as you breathe in and breathe out. So you're pulling your head to tail. Shake out through the neck. Let it hang down now. Beautiful. Bring it in and step back into downward dog. So you're going to reach your hips back, feet back. So you're looking like that. In your downward dog. And bend your knees and squat back. And lift up onto your tiptoes and straighten out your legs. Push your hips all the way up and draw the heels down. Move your chest toward your feet, your head toward your feet. Shake out your neck. Move your shoulders really wide, you guys, and heels come down. Hollowing out the belly. We lift up the right leg to the sky and get a really nice stretch and pump that leg up there. So squeeze the glute. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we'll tuck the knee right in, and we're gonna just come in and forward and sink onto the shin here. So you guys are just pressing that shin down and elongating through the spine. So we lift. We're opening up through the belly and the hips. You want to keep active in that low belly and hip area. And start to roll those shoulders back and do your best to lift through the crown of the head. And inhale, exhale. Squeeze down through the buttocks a little more. Or really hug those shoulder blades against the back. Beautiful. Let's release that back and go into downward dog. So press those fingers wide. And bend your knees. Press back into the squat. Straighten out your legs, go up on your tiptoes, hips up high to the sky. So as you squeeze into those hips, drop the heels down and press your head, chest toward your feet. Elbows strong, shoulders wide. Let's pick up that left leg and stretch it up there as high as you can, tone both legs, and pump that leg up there for 8, 7, 6, 5. Really squeeze it, guys. 4, 3. So we're still having some toning in this class. And 1. And tuck that knee into the chest, squeeze it in, and plant the shin down. So you still get a good toning workout. So back leg is strong, and try to push your chest up. Activate the opening in through the belly and the hips, chest and shoulders. Squeeze down on your buttocks. Okay, so we're going to really squeeze into it and push against the shoulder blades. So let's do the heart. Inhale and exhale. Breathe and breathe out. One more time. And this time we'll come into plank. So we're going to press those hands down and step into your plank position. You're going to hold your plank position. Now hold plank. And as we hold our plank position, keeping that low belly in, I'm going to drop the knees, keep the butt in the air, drop the chest and the chin, Stretch out your neck. Elbows in tight. And walk your knees in a little closer if you can. And push through those toes. Slide the body down and through and forward. And extend your legs. So we're going to stretch this all out and pull your torso long. Press your legs into the ground. Turn your palms down and lift through the arms. And stretch and lengthen the back of the neck. As you lift the head and the neck and the shoulders, lifting up for 4, 3, 2, and hold it up. Lift the right leg up, straight leg though, don't bend. And bring it down. Lift the left leg up, keep toning into your lower belly. Don't bend. And bring it down. And separate your legs and lift them both up. So the arms, spine, everything is lifting, and you're going higher with your arms and legs. 2 more breaths. And 1. Releasing it down, bring the hands in, press into your feet, and lift into upward facing dog. So you guys are going to squeeze your glutes, squeeze the shoulder blades against the back, lengthen the back of the neck, and then come into downward dog again. You're going to press all the way back in downward dog. You squeeze into your lower belly, shoulders wide, super wide. Lift your right leg and bend that knee and open your hip out to the side. You can do this on your knee if you need to, instead of being in downward dog. But if you're able to, you're going to circle that hip around. So you're going to go for 4, big giant circles, guys. 3, hug into the low belly. 2, and reverse. So we're going to go around for 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to keep it open, and then take that leg in, tuck it into the chest, and step it forward right to the top of your mat. So just come right up there, drop your back leg down, elongate your back leg, so get that nice opening. Okay, so right leg forward, left leg back. Lift up again, like we did at the beginning, bring the hands together, pull the elbows back, push the shoulder blades against your back, squeeze and tone your glute. So you're pressing your glute, you're pressing your shoulder blades, you're bringing your arm back. And you're inhaling and exhaling here. Breathing in and breathing out. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and bring it down. So you're gonna bring your hands down on either side and pick up your back knee, back leg. So you're stretching your chest and you're stretching your back leg. So you keep pulling that back leg super strong. And your left hand stays down and your right arm comes up into your twist. And keep hugging into your lower belly, you guys. And lift the bottom of your sternum up. And this top arm can stay up, or you can wrap it around your back and roll that shoulder back. And hug into the belly a little more. Press through the arm on the ground, try not to bend it. And you'll keep the twist, but drop the back knee to the floor and bend your back leg and grab your foot. Okay, so if you can do that, go for it. Otherwise, just pull the leg in without grabbing it. But so you're breathing in, breathing out. And you want to try to use less of your hand and more of your leg muscles to pull that foot in. So your hand's just kind of helping you a little. But if you let go, it should still be there or coming closer. So you try to inch it a little closer with your hands. But you're not, pulling with your arms. Shoulder's not doing all the work. Chest is up. Breathing in, breathing out. Sink into that left hip a little more. Lift the bottom of your sternum a little more. Squeeze your butt and your shoulder blades against your back. And release. Woohoo. All right, so we're going to step back and downward dog again. We reach back. And we're opening up. The shoulders wide. The head come down. Lengthen the back of your neck. So release the tension behind the head. So let's take our left leg up. Bend the knee in the air. Open that hip. And keep toning that lower belly as you do this, okay? Keep turning that hip open. And we're going to make knee circles, so big giant circles into the chest up to the side. 1, 2. Keep breathing deeply. And then we'll reverse the position. So we go for 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we open it up again. So hold it up and open deeply. And squeeze the knee into the chest and step that foot forward. So you're going to push it up there. If you don't make it, just kind of walk it up there. Lift through the chest and straighten out through your back leg. Okay, so we're going to drop the back knee down, elongate the shin, excuse me, lifting, lifting, lifting. And again, bringing the hands together, shoulders down. Squeeze through the glute in the upper back, lift through the chest, and breathe. So you guys are doing great. Just keep pulling through the belly, pulling through the chest. Inhale deeply, exhale deeply. And we'll start to come down and forwards. And you'll bring your right hand down and pick up your back leg and pull it strong. So pull your back leg as strong as you can. Lift up that left arm. Open through the chest. And again, on this side, you can keep that arm up there if you want, or roll it back for a little extra shoulder. Keep toning your upper back. Breathing deeply. And dropping your back knee. And pulling that foot in. Pulling that in. Reaching for it if you can, otherwise just pull it. So again, you're breathing deeply. You want to make sure you're sinking into your right hip. Lifting your sternum. And again, don't use all hands. Just make sure it's as much muscle at the leg. Breathing deeply. Continue to sink into the hip and pull in. 2 and 1. All right. We'll let that go and come into plank. So when you guys come into plank, you're gonna have a nice strong plank position. Belly is in, that lower belly's in, okay? So you guys are really working the hip flexors, lower belly, hug it in as strong as you can, but keep your buttocks down. So you wanna keep the glutes active, looking good, you guys. We're gonna come into side plank, so we'll drop the left knee down, and spin that left shin behind you and lift that right arm up and lift that leg. So your leg and arm come up. The chest is wide. So you want to keep spreading the collarbone and opening up the throat and lifting through the leg. So what we're going to do is bring the hand behind the head here and squeeze the knee to the elbow and then stretch it up and out. And try that again. Squeeze the knee to the elbow, charge that hip, and press it up. And 2 more, squeeze and press it up, looking good. One more time, you guys, squeeze and press it up. Now we're gonna open, open, open. Again, lift that leg a little bit higher if you're able to. Grab your foot behind you, get that shoulder open. Now use your leg, use your foot as you're holding onto your foot, or you can use a strap, you can't grab it. Use your foot to stretch your shoulder and your chest, which means you press your leg further away from your body and it'll pull your chest forward and it'll pull your arm back so you can stretch your chest more. So use it as more of a chest stretch right now. Beautiful. All right, so we're gonna release that and come down and we'll try the other side. Woo, that shoulder feels open. All right, so we'll come into plank first. And we'll take the right knee down and spin that right knee shin under to the side. Lift up left arm and left leg. So if you need to change the position of your wrist or do anything like that. But keep pulling the shoulders. Pull the leg. Extend through the neck. And breathing in, breathing out. Lift a little higher, a little stronger with the leg. Bring the hand behind the head. We're going to squeeze elbow to knee. So we bend. And then extend. And we do it again. We bend, squeeze the waist, and extend. Looks good. 2 more, you guys. Try a little bit more. And extend. And last one. Squeeze and extend. Reach that leg back. Reach your arm back. Again, use your strap or grab your foot. But you're using that connection for your chest stretch. So really hug into your hips and your lower belly. Let that neck open and use your leg to stretch your chest and shoulder like you did on the other side. So you're just pulling that leg further away from you, stretching your shoulder, bicep, chest, opening the throat. All right. I'll release it down and come into child's pose. So you guys are going to reach yourself into child's pose. Those knees are going to be open, and sit on your heels and stretch your arms as far forward as you can. Okay, so you're sitting on your heels and you are stretching your fingers as far forward as you can. And move your shoulders wide and press your shoulders down away from your arms, so toward your hips. So your shoulders are going toward the back of the mat, and your fingers are stretching toward the front of the mat. You breathe deeply as you hug into that lower belly. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. So rise up. We'll give you some kneeling stretches for the pelvis and the shoulders and the neck and the spine. So we'll come up into kneeling and we'll step that right foot out to the side. The knee's going to be bent. The foot is pointing out. The toes are pointing out. Leg is strong. I want to get this nice open here from the inside of your knee to the groin. So you're turning your pelvis. Okay, right now your pelvis might be turned in a diagonal position of the knee. And then when you turn, we sometimes will just turn the chest. So I want you guys to do your best to have your chest or your hip rib connection and turn your pelvis, right? So turn that pelvis away from the knee and that knee open. So you're opening from here. So it feels like that pubic bone is pulling away from the knee and vice versa, okay? So you're trying to get that nice spread stretch. And you want to keep working on that. So that's where that lower belly, hip flexor straight comes in. Open up through the arms. Yes. Side angle stretch, we come down to that right side or to your bent leg and lift up your top arm. So you guys are pulling the inside of the hips and the legs and reach that top shoulder over. And breathe deeply as you rotate your arm in here. Okay, so you're rotating that arm in and pull the elbow back. Breathe in, breathe out. So pay attention to the pelvis and the opening of the spine. And sink into a deeper stretch if you're able to. And then when you're ready, rise up. Good. And this will be a straight leg. Okay, so a straight leg. Open up. So once again, stretch, open, lifting the inner thigh, and that pelvis is forward. As you come over to the side in a straight leg. And on this one, we're trying to charge open the side of this hip. Okay, so we're going to lift and lengthen and take this top arm a little bit further. And come over. Go a little deeper, you guys. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. And release. And we'll twist toward that leg. So twist toward that leg. And your other leg, if you want to turn it, you can. But if you're comfortable with it as it is, that's fine. Just go ahead and start coming down over it. I have my toes pointed. You can have them flexed or whatever you want to, right? So I'm working on a stretch at the front of the foot today, but you guys want to pick up the heel and stretch the calf, you go for that. But try to let that forehead come down. Stretch through the spine. Breathe in, breathe out. And then we'll rise up and lift and open and turn your pelvis back to the front. So good practice to turn the pelvis back to the front. Breathe in, breathe out. Come all the way over to the side. Now you're going to keep the leg down on this one. So keep that leg down and open and get as long as you can, squeezing the glutes and the shoulder blades. And if you can't reach the floor, you can put like a prop underneath it, right? That yoga block or something like that. But just keep stretching the side of your hip here, the side of your waist, the neck, the shoulder. And then slowly release, and you'll take that leg and bring it around out in front of you and just take it up right in front of you as you lift up. Inhale and exhale. Good. Reach your hands at the hips back here, you guys, and squeeze your hips forward and go into that half camel. So you're arching that lower back, maybe bringing one hand to the foot or both hands to the foot. The other arm can come up if you're feeling like two hands to the foot is too much. So I'll be here with that one hand. Those of you guys are a little more advanced. Grab 2 feet, 2 hands back. And open your hip, open your neck. And slowly release All right. So let's bring that down and we'll come back into child's pose. And when you guys come into child's pose, like really hug into the hips here, like squeeze those hip flexors, squeeze your lower belly, and come down as deep as you can. And as you squeeze into those hip flexors deeper and that lower belly deeper, you'll activate the push back in the glutes. You'll spread your fingers and press them into the yoga mat. And our shoulders are wide and we're breathing in. Awesome. And breathing out. So get the collarbone and the neck and the shoulders very relaxed as you do this. Go a little deeper into the stretch, looking so good. And then rise up when you're ready, and we'll take it over to the other side. So I'm going to just scooch over so that I get my left foot out or second leg out, turn it out. So when you guys rise up, you want to stretch from here. You don't want to like have the knee in one position and then the foot overturn, okay? So you have the toes in line with the knee and you're stretching from knee to hip here. And again, this is where we get stuck. We're at this diagonal here and then we just turn the chest. So we have this like disconnect or, misalignment. So you're pulling the pubic bone, the pelvis, the lower belly, whatever you want to, away from that leg. So you're having your good, strong alignment. So do your best to keep pulling pelvis and leg nice and strong as you breathe in and breathe out. So you continue to feel that as you come into your side angle stretch. Yep, and that top arm comes over once you get into that, and you're rotating this arm in. The elbow is back behind your ear if you can help it. And you continue to adjust the pelvis, pushing knee open and that pelvis open. Breathe in and breathe out. And again, breathe in and breathe out. And so we'll rise up with a straight leg. So it's like it's going to be straight. Right? So it's going to be straight. And we come over that straight leg to the side again. This time, again, you're still opening up that pelvis, but we're working the side of the hip stretch. So deep side of the hip stretch. And we're inhaling and exhaling as we do this. Inhale and exhale. And so we'll rise up again. Bring that hand down, and this time keep the leg down, lifting up and over. Again, you're stretching your hip, stretching your leg, stretching your arm and your waist, and keeping that arm from going forward, like move it behind your ear. So your head should stay in line, and then move that arm back. And we inhale and rise up. I'm going to pivot around, and again, you can do something with the shin for comfort of your knee. But just extend forward, and now you're closing the gap between the pelvis and that inner thigh instead of opening the gap, and you come down. So props are helpful here if you have yoga blocks. Again, I'm stretching the long bones and the muscles at the top of the foot by pointing. If you guys feel like you want to flex and work that way, you can go for it. We're reaching deeply and extending your spine, toning your leg, breathing deeply. All right, and as we rise up, we're going to take that leg and just walk it to the front here. So you're going to just bring it to the front. So you have this kneeling position, and you'll bring the arms out and up here just for a lift and anchor into your feet, your shins. And bring the hands right behind the hips here. Press the glutes forward or press your low back forward. And maybe this is fine if you want to stay here. You're going to reach back with one hand for the heel and the other one comes up, or you can do two hands. But you're still pulling forward with the hip and the belly, and you're breathing. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's slowly release. Woohoo! And we'll come back into child's pose. I'm going to work into a little bit of core work before we come into those deep stretches on the back. So again, hug here, guys, into your hip flexors. Just squeeze them in, suck in the lower belly, activate the glutes all at the same time, okay? So low belly, hip flexors, low back and glutes, super strong. Press your hands down real, real flat. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. So from here, we're just going to crawl forward into frog pose. So we're going to open up the knees as wide as you can, and then tip your pelvis forward. So even though you're hugging into the belly and the hip flexors are starting to open them up, come onto the forearms and open your feet out to the side. So your knees are opening out. And so in that posture, when we were kneeling, we had the knees out. And I was trying to have you pull the knees away from the groin, and that pubic bone aligns. So right now, you're going to hold the pelvis in the center and try to stretch open the knees. Stretch open inside the hips and the low belly. And you rock back just slightly. And you rock into one hip a little bit more than the other. And then the other hip a little bit more. And then we come to the center and press into both hips evenly. And slowly start to stretch those muscles out. So slowly open and breathe. Beautiful. So walk those feet in, knees in, hug them in. And we're gonna have a seat. So we're gonna do a bit of core work and belly work here, really sculpt into the tummy, which is a great area to work on, right? So I'll just angle a little bit, but you definitely want to make sure that your hip flexors and that lower belly are really hugged in. So when you're hugging them in, it'll actually close your legs. So if you're having a hard time, your knees are open, you can put a yoga block between your knees, but you want to keep working here, right into the belly. Just keep squeezing the navel in, keep squeezing that lower belly and hugging the hip flexors. Now down on the glutes are working too, so you're really pulling up with the glutes and the lower back. So you want to keep finding that strength. We're working on that in Pilates, right? But I'm going to add it to these classes. You know, I do that periodically, right? So hug that all in. Chest is lifted. But when you lift your chest, don't come out of that strength, right? You still hug in and lift, 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 lift. And so we're just going to pump back for 8. Just pump into the belly. 7. Right into the belly. 6. 5. 4. 3, 2, and 1. And you'll stay back and you connect your hands and you're going to go right to left. But again, you're still in that lower belly for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we'll bring the arms straight up. Keep squeezing into those hip flexors. Kick up right, left. Keep that low belly tone, glutes tone. Shoulders relaxed. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then we'll pull those elbows back. I know we did this yesterday at the ballet bar, but we're doing it again. Elbows back as far as you can. Squeeze into the glutes, that low belly, hip flexors. And you'll be getting those legs straight up and fanning your legs. Keeping those hip flexors strong. Pull, pull. Right into the low belly. Neck is relaxed, you guys. You can go faster than me or this speed, whatever works. Keep hugging into the belly for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we'll tuck them in and tap them down. Squeeze into the low belly, glutes and low back, and press down. And we go for 4, and press, and 3, and press, 2, lots of work in that belly, and 1. Woohoo! Come right onto your back. And as you come onto your back, you might like arch up here or let go of the hip flexors. So again, encourage that steam in there, lower belly, glutes active, low back presses up toward the lower belly, okay? So you're not rounding that lower back and arching the shoulders. So you hug in, but that low back stays nice and strong. Arms are gonna be down, knees are gonna come up. So everything is still strong, everything is still wrapped in, and your back is on the ground, and we'll tap right and left, and right and left. Shoulders wide as you do this. And left. Keep going for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Keep hugging in strong, you guys. 3, shoulders wide. 2, and then we'll have both knees come in here. So we'll tap in and tap down, right? So we'll squeeze those hips in and tap down. And you want to keep your back anchored. Don't let it rock up, round, or arch. Okay, keeping it super strong. For 4, legs are moving. 3. And now you're going to tap both of your legs to the right side of your mat, right side of your body, tuck it in, and then to the left side of your body, and tuck it in. So you're going to go into that tap, and tuck, and tap, and tuck. We're going to go 4, come up, 3, come up, squeeze, squeeze, 2, squeeze, squeeze, hands behind the head, lift up right here, and opposite elbow, and you're going to extend for 1, 2, keep hugging into the hips, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, one more set, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Awesome. All right, let's release that. And just open up through the knees. And this is where we're going to grab the rolled up yoga mat or blanket in just a second. So just, if you have it available, you can just grab it. But otherwise, we're just going to circle the ankles around a few times. Circle, circle. And then come on up and grab your blanket or your yoga mat. So I'm going to just use the yoga mat, but you guys can use your blanket. And you'll put it behind your chest here. And we're just going to work on an opening here at the chest. Let your shoulders come behind the mat or the blanket. Okay, so shoulders are not on. They're actually rolling backwards toward the floor. And the arms are going to be open here. The knees are going to be bent. Hip flexors are strong. So you're breathing in and breathing out. So we'll start to slide the legs out. If that's too much on your back, you're going to go ahead and bend your knees. Okay, so we're just going to open up through the chest. And slide your arms along the floor, over your head, and slide them back down. And do that again. Keep those shoulders back to the floor. Slide as high up as you can go without lifting your shoulders, right? And one more time. Stretch up. And back. Good. Bring your arms all the way up to the side. Get this really nice stretch here, you guys. And bring the hands up over the chest. So palms together. So what you're doing here is pulling your shoulders to the floor while you're pressing your arms up. I'm going to bring the arms over the head again. Okay, so start to go back. Keep the hips and the belly engaged. And as far as you can go, keeping those shoulders back. Stretching your arms. Stretch your arms. So try not to bend your elbows. Those legs anchored. Awesome. Bring it right back up. So good, you guys. Bring the hands down. So let's bend the knees and open the feet, the knees out to the side. Your feet come together and your feet walk as close to your pelvis as you can. So walk them up there and then touch the bottoms of your feet to each other. Press your legs open. So again, you guys, you want to engage your core. So that low belly is active. Hip flexors are active, but they're stretching out. Okay, so very, very strong in that. And your glutes are active, so you want to keep active in the glutes and the low back. So we're trying right here, you guys, to get the sides, the outsides of the knees and the thighs to the floor. So I'm going to have you do is press the right side down as deep as you can go. So you can go ahead and the left side will kind of come up a little bit. So press and feel what it feels like to connect that leg if you get there to the ground, right, your upper thigh. And let's do the same on the other side. So you're going to press your leg. Just keep going if you can. If you feel a restriction, it's fine. You don't have to. Just go really, really slow. Just press that knee, outside of knee and thigh. So you want to roll open and come back to the center. And if you can reach for the knees, you're going to just pull the knees up and out. Okay, so the inner thighs are going to slide up toward the quad and out, and keep pulling them out. Now you can press your feet together and push your toes down, and you're going to keep pulling your legs like that. It's a really good stretch. Bring the arms up again, and you're going to work the arms overhead again as you do those pulling of the legs. So your legs are really pulling, and the arms are really pulling. Belly is in. Breathing in and breathing out, you guys. Get a little more open at your hips. So it is a lot of toning here. You're toning your buttocks. You're toning your outer thighs, right? The glutes, muscles, and even the lower back and the belly. Awesome. Let's bring that right up and hug your knees in. Give the hip flexors a hug and a squeeze. You're closing in the hip flexors. And we'll take that right leg over the left and close them in a little bit more. So right inside the front of your hips, think of them like little car doors closing into each other. And you're going to bring your legs over to the left. And your right arm goes to the right, and your left hand goes on the outside of the knee. And you're hugging that hip flexor in, you're hugging that knee in. And your back is strong, so you want to hold your lower back against your lower belly and try to activate your glutes. Okay, so glutes get into the stretch. Chest is open and continue to squeeze in flexors in the belly. Breathing deeply. And if you want to take that top leg and straighten it out and flex and kind of play around with that, you can go for it. And bring it back in and come right back up. Awesome. We'll take it to the other side. So left leg over the right. And the legs are going to go to the right. Left arm out, right hand on the knee. Again, activate your hip flexors. So hug into the belly. Squeeze those hips close in. So narrow the front of your hips, the pelvis. Narrow those points in. Keep your lower back strong. Breathing, breathing, breathing. So keep squeezing into the belly and activating your glutes. And again, if you wanted to play with that kick out, you can go for it. Just kind of kick the leg and circle flex, whatever works. See if you can turn those toes down and bring it back in. Woohoo! All right, so we're going to take this blanket or mat and take it out from the chest. We're going to put it under the hips, and we're going to use it to open up the hips now. Okay, so it's going to be right behind the pelvis, and the legs are going to be up. The legs are going to be straight. So once you get here, you're going to roll those shoulders back, and again, circle the ankles around a few times. Going really good to keep that flexibility and mobility. Pointed flex, roll the shoulders back. Let your legs come toward you now, okay? So you guys are letting your legs fall toward you. You're squeezing into your belly and your hip flexors. And then if you can, you're going to separate your legs just a few inches, like 4 to 6 inches. And move your legs closer to you. And you're trying not to get too much of a bend here to the knees. The little one's okay. But try to move the legs a little closer, stretching your lower back and lower spine. Breathing deeply here, you guys. You're pulling those legs into you, but stretching them. So keep seeing if you can get that stretch. And we'll hold that right leg and drop the left one out. So point the toes here and extend the hip. And see if you can get your heel and your foot toward the floor to touch the floor without bending your knee. And then bring it up and grab hold of it into you, pull it into you, and drop and extend the other one. Far down. Let's see if you can straighten it out and tap the floor. And then pull it all the way in. Now grab hold of both of them again, you guys. Pull it all the way in. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Hold on to the right one, and you're going to tap down the left one every time. So you're going to go down and then back up. Keep the hip flexors strong. Down and back up. Down. See if you can touch the floor. Touch up as close to where it was. 2. Keep the hip flexor strong. And 1. And bring it in, and you're going to hold it in next to the other one. Grab hold of it and try the other side. And so we're going to tap down and up. Down and up. Keeping that lower belly active. And up. 2 more, you guys. All the way down if you can. And up. And 1 more time. And up. Beautiful. All right, this time we're going to just bend the knees. Tuck them in, get that nice stretch here. Roll a little to the left, roll a little to the right. And then drop your feet down, stretch the arms over, and slide your legs up. So you're going to try to stretch out both hips. Again, you want to make sure this is all sucked in right here. So you're drawing this super, super strong and pressing your legs away and really hollowing out your belly while you press your wrists and your shoulders and your elbows. And pull your fingertips in one direction and pull your toes the other direction as you inhale and exhale. We'll bring it all in, and we're going to use this prop under the pelvis still, but you're going to be on your side. So you're going to just roll to your side, doesn't matter which side, but it's going to be on the side. It's going to be under your hip there. And if you feel like you want even more of a stretch and you want more height, you can just kind of hold that yoga mat and give yourself a little more height. That's on the side of the pelvis, and you'll reach that bottom arm out and get super, super long, and reach your legs out and get super, super long. That top arm reaches over, so your bottom palm is up like that. Top arm goes on top of it. And pull your fingers, pull the top arm beyond the bottom. And pull the top leg and the bottom leg. And keep stretching the sides of your hips. So you're opening up this top hip, right, in the side of the pelvis. So you're stretching your leg toward your feet. And you're stretching the top of the pelvis toward the chest. So you're trying to stretch the side of the hip there. Get a little more length without tension, just slowly growing the stretch. And you can take your top leg and put it behind your bottom one. You can bend the bottom one and stretch even further. So now the top leg goes down toward the floor. And you just want to make sure the top of the pelvis here doesn't fall with the leg. You want to pull the top of the pelvis, again, toward the crown of the head, so you can hold it if you have a hard time with it. And stretching the outside of that hip a little bit deeper. And if you want to, you can take your bottom leg and put it on top. Now this gets a little bit more tricky, so if you can't do that to get that press down with the leg, don't worry about it. All right, we'll let that go and we'll try side two. So I'm just going to come up and sit up and go to the other side. But if you guys want to just roll over, go ahead and roll over. And we'll bring that right to the side of the pelvis. And again, your legs are going to be straight. Bottom arm out. Top arm on top. Pull that top arm a little bit further, beyond, beyond, beyond. Keep going beyond. And pulling that top hip into the stretch. You know how to do it, top to bottom. Okay, so bottom and top leg are pulling. You're breathing in, breathing out. So we have a ton of flexibility usually around here until we start pulling here. But I really want you guys to come down to the hips, pull from there. And if you want to, you can take your top leg and the bottom one a little bit and press your top leg down, stretching the hip and breathing. And again, it gets a little trickier if you want to take that bottom leg up on top and feel the stretch a little bit more. Inhale and exhale. Okay, that was a ton of back bending. So we're going to do some forward bending. So release and start by cat and cow on your hands and knees. I'm just going to relieve the spine with a cat stretch. Yeah, get that time. So you're just going to be on your hands and knees. Make sure your knees are a little bit wider, right? And you don't want them touching each other. And wrists underneath. Just stretch out. So you guys are going to scoop into the belly. Scoop into the hip flexors and stretch your lower back, middle back, but stretch behind the neck, okay guys? So you want to open up that area at the base of the skull, maybe turning a few times, and then just go into neutral. So don't go into that cow pose, just come into neutral where you activate the lower belly and the glutes and the upper back. And try that again. Squeeze up into that stretch and stretch right behind the base of the skull, the cranium. Try to round that part, gets really, really stuck. And come into neutral. Beautiful. We're going to have a seat and bring your right leg out as far as you can go and bring your left heel in as much as you can. Now, again, if this hurts your knee, you're just going to move that leg out a little bit or whatever works. But you're trying to pull this knee further back, get your outer thigh to the ground there, and stretch this leg out. So again, I'm doing a toe point. You guys can totally, flex your foot, whatever works for you. We're going to start to come forward. So even out your hips and start to gently open up that lower back. So you're going to kind of round the low back. You're stretching your spine here, around the middle back. It's kind of like you're doing a cat stretch. Your collar's open. And you're bending forward when you're doing this, okay? So we want to bend forward a little bit more. And we want to breathe, okay, guys? So we want to inhale and exhale. We're going to just walk over to the bent knee. So just come on over to the bent knee and just square your shoulders off, and like so that you're straddling the knee with your arms. And again, do that cat stretch. So keep pulling that leg as far away from you as you can, and just rounding through the back of the neck, and breathe. And we'll come over to the straight leg. So we'll come right over here, guys. And just again, straddle your leg, tone your leg, keep turning your belly right toward the leg, and stretch and bend, okay? So you're lengthening your spine, stretching through the back of the neck. You're breathing as you do this. Keep toning up your legs. Beautiful. All right. And so we'll rise up, just neutral spine, and we'll come to the other side, right? So you'll take one leg in, left leg in. Right leg in, left leg out. What I mean, right? And you're pulling. So you want to just keep sending that knee out, sending that outer leg to the floor, and stretch as much as you can, okay? So you guys are really getting that openness of the leg, okay? Pull the belly in, start to bend forward, but you want to stretch out your back muscles. So it's almost like you're doing that cat stretch where you suck in, and you continue the cat stretch all the way to the base of the skull. So you have a good, healthy, straight, strong spine that you're extending forward as you lengthen. You're stretching all those muscles in the back. They can get very rigid and stuck. So again, it goes from the base of your skull, from your cranium, all the way down along your spine. So you want to lengthen from the base of the skull. And walk over to the bent knee. Again, take your time, hug into that low belly. Bring your hands on either side of the knee. Squeeze into the belly. Stretch that leg a little further. Inhale and exhale. And then we'll walk over to the other side. And right over that straight leg. And again, you keep turning and toning your leg. And keep squaring off your hands and your shoulders. So one shoulder should not be higher than the other. You want to keep squaring the shoulders and stretching your back. You keep coming down through the stretch, right? Through the crown of the head. Pulling into the stretch. Use your hands as anchors. Inhale and exhale. Go a little further if you can. Beautiful. All right, and we'll rise up. Okay. Bring that leg in and just circle the shoulders up and around. Awesome, you guys. Up and around. Up and around. Move the shoulders down the back to open the chest and draw the belly in. Okay, so the hip flexors and the low belly still strong, glutes still active, meaning that you're over to the side. Good length, you guys. Chin is in neutral, so your chin isn't kind of hanging up in the air. You want to hold that good neutral chin position as you extend the ears away from the shoulder. Try not to bend at your back. Notice if you're doing that. Lift up super, super tall. Everything is pulling and lengthening. And you're going to gently roll back. Gently. Lengthen your neck as you make your way to the other side. And as you come over to the other side, just keep opening the shoulders. Chin comes to that good neutral place. Okay, so it's not in this funky place, you know, where the chin is kind of rolled up. Have it in neutral. Lengthen the shoulders. And then we'll roll back to the other side. One more time. Just go super, super slow. And come back to neutral. All right, and then you guys will lie on our backs. We'll practice Savasana. So just go ahead and come down on your back. If you want to put the blanket under your knees or over your body, that's fine. Right? And just relax down on your back and let your legs part so your legs are wider than your hips. Arms out from the body, palms are up, and the head is in the middle. Okay, so your head is right in the center. Relaxing and softening your eyes and your face as you breathe in and breathe out. Just allow all things to settle, allow all things to be, and be in this present moment. Okay, so feeling your breath in and your breath out. Let your mind settle. So the activity that goes on in the mind, let it settle. Follow your breath. Just the way like a balloon that goes up to the sky starts to deflate, lose air, it starts to settle down to the ground. That is what is happening with our out breath. You let all those thoughts that start to travel, or whatever intensity that's going on in the heart, your mood, or in your physical body. When you exhale, let it all settle down to the earth. Your mind, your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, and your physical body all settle down to the earth. And you can say to yourself as you exhale, I am grounded. As you breathe in, you smile. As you exhale, you can say, I am grounded. We're going to come out of Savasana. Just like to open your eyes and move about the body. And bring yourself to seated when you are ready. You can rub those hands together. Feel the pelvis nice and strong. Crown of the head is lifted. Hands to the heart. Awesome. So when you have that settled feeling, you always feel better, more connected to each other. Right? And we're kind of scattered all over the place and not connected. Okay? So just keep finding that groundedness and have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you guys. Namaste.